Hi everyone, Matt Schofield here, Head of Corporate Finance at SW Accountants and Advisors. Very excited to be involved with IMARC again this year, and in particular we're very proud to be sponsoring the Investment Theatre at IMARC. And as a lead into IMARC, we thought we would share with you this afternoon some of our thoughts and views on what's emerging in the mining sector, and in particular in the critical minerals space. What's largely being driven by the global push towards a net zero future, and the innovations that are being created to achieve this have really highlighted the increased need for critical minerals. There's obvious demand for electric vehicles, which is expected to reach 30 million units by 2030. There's a general increase in renewable energy projects globally. There's demand for battery storage. There's needs of the regular construction community and several other initiatives that are driving this increased demand for critical minerals. If you couple this demand with the energy security issues that have been highlighted by the war in Europe, the single source countries such as China and the issues that we're facing there, it's sort of got governments around the world, I suppose, searching for energy security strategies, and really has resulted in them committing substantial funds towards ensuring that they have energy market resilience and are also able to expand their trade opportunities as part of this process. So all of these strategies are really supporting the increased production of commodities and critical minerals across the world. It's also increasing the competitiveness of METS companies. It's increasing advanced manufacturing initiatives. And all of this is obviously driving the production of low emission technologies. Well, I suppose many of the world's largest mining companies have already divested into critical minerals to capitalise on this strategic imperative and shift in focus. Many investors are now seeking marquee projects in key locations to do the same. So there's a range of minerals and rare earths that are critical for renewable energy projects, EVs and battery storage. Obviously, lithium is well understood and a key need for this EV market. There's been billions of dollars in investment go into meeting this global demand. Australia and South America regions are quite strong in the production of lithium. So you've obviously got Argentina, Chile and Bolivia in South America. They're some of the top producers in the world. There's also this increasing demand for nickel, zinc and copper, which is all set to exceed supply by 2030. So there's a lot of movement around the exploration and expansion of operations for these minerals, and particularly as existing mines go into a period of production decline. So with the rare earths, there's also a huge demand around items such as high purity quartz or silicon quartz. And for Australia, if we can really develop our domestic production of high purity quartz, there's a massive opportunity for Australia to participate in the global supply chain in a very material way when it comes to the production of solar PV and semiconductor material value chains. So that's probably the really big opportunity for Australia at the moment, and the one that's probably been highlighted by the federal government elevating silicon quartz or ultra high purity quartz into the critical minerals list, as recently published by Oz Industries. It's very strong at the moment, and it is really being driven off this net zero thematic and the need for critical minerals in a renewable energy driven world. So, and that type of investment is, as I said earlier, anything from known minerals such as lithium and cobalt and vanadium and various other sort of rare earth products. But it's now shifting into, I suppose, a stronger demand for diversification away from centrally held assets, particularly around silicon quartz and ultra high purity quartz. And the other emerging theme here in Australia is really around leveraging our technology and technology excellence, the work done by CSIRO and ANSTO and ARENA and other technologically advanced institutions here in Australia who are bringing on stream, technical innovation that is allowing a lot of these net zero targets to be met. It obviously will take, a number of years for these technologies to feed into the industry, but that is where a lot of investment is taking place. So we're excited by that, really excited. We've got a very large sustainability team, got great relationships with some of these federal government institutions, and ultimately that's where the focus needs to be, because we can't achieve these net zero goals unless we bring on stream the technology, and there are critical minerals that need to support the development of these other parts of the net zero economy. So, and as I said, that's the semiconductor market, battery storage, and a number of other items that, unless we can develop these areas, makes it quite critical to achieve our net zero targets. Well, interestingly, Australia is geographically one of the most relevant areas. If you want to speak to specific aspects of it, like lithium is quite, its production is quite strong here in Australia. So that's well known and well understood, along with South America, as I touched on earlier. The other area around silicon quartz and ultra high purity quartz, it's a market that's largely dominated by a couple of mines in the United States and North America. So there is believed to be some very material, undeveloped resource deposits for ultra high purity quartz here in Australia. So that is an area that will receive a lot of investment attention over the next 10 years. And we're really excited by that, because it is happening in our own backyard, and it's supplemented by CSIRO technologies and other advancements that are enabling the processing of those materials to be achieved in a net zero manner. So I think that's probably the most exciting aspect, is that some of these critical minerals are actually being sourced from Australia, and a lot of the future expansion of this type of product is also likely to occur via mines in Australia as well. So that's probably, as it relates to our market. I know IMARC's an international mining conference, but we're quite excited here in Australia by what we have to offer to the net zero economy. Happy to sort of share our thoughts this afternoon, and look forward to catching up with you all at IMARC.